Raleigh Dragon Tavern. And do we have any announcements? No, we don't really have any announcements. Yeah, don't really have any announcements today, and yeah, we'll go ahead and just jump into session. So I believe we last. Oh my gosh, how did I run out of this? So I believe we last left off with you guys having a picnic as a group.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Finally getting to settle down and relax a little bit from the hecticness that you've been dealing with up to this point. And from there, you guys would have headed back to the camp and the tea house and gotten a chance to settle in for the night and actually have, for the most part, a relaxing afternoon and a relaxing dinner. Mongo making drinks and for everybody and working a little bit with the Hatter to make some less volatile drinks that the Hatter deems as boring drinks. But while they are boring, they are safe for consumption by normal people under the influence of Alice's special brand of resurrection. So you're able to head to bed, get some sleep, and the next day, you see that Mongo is busy working with Hatter on alchemy-related stuff, and Kyan, Nikolai actually approaches you uh, regarding the materials needed for the music box that you wanted to work on.
What are your thoughts yourself on this music box, Kayan? Like,
Just
I
that
can.
it needs to be handmade. It can't be something that's bought.
Yeah, I get that. But like, do you personally have any thoughts on the design, the style, the approach, the gotta have to have some place to start. I can totally just make up, the mechanics and, get something together, but having thoughts on how the box is going to be shaped and, you know, what exactly the music, how the music is going to play, what it's going to sound like will help me figure out, how to put that all together.
Knowing what I do know about at least insects and insectoid things, um, what kind of sounds, colors, or patterns would I know would be off limits?
Uh, Regarding the worm's nature, probably things that would resemble larger predators than, despite how big the asshole is, as if he might have any bigger predators. Yeah, anything that would resemble
I can think of a
basically
few.
carrion type of animals or large lizards or things like that, those kinds of colors and such.
So avoid anything with reptile-like designs or avian kind of designs.
Things that worms would be scared of.
That makes sense.
I would assume that this worm, because they're so alien-like, I guess the music would make more sense if it was more whimsical. I guess
Whimsical?
something that's very akin to almost like circus music, but not exactly that.
Hmm.
Like when you're thinking of like from the movie Alice in Wonderland,
Mm-hmm.
where of course everyone sees the Hatter's dance.
Yeah.
Along that lines of music is what I'm trying to describe without outright saying circus music.
Huh. So,
I always default to whimsy when I think of like the Feywild and things like that.
you wanted to keep, I guess more or less I need to know, are we keeping it to one instrument or do we want multiple instruments playing music in this box?
That would be Mongo's thing.
Yeah, that's where it would require Mongo as well, because like when it comes to the base for the shape of the box and like the actual mechanical components, that would be me helping you find the right kind of woods and materials and helping you put it together,
Mm-hmm.
and then getting Mongo to help with the music and the overall flair. Because
Yeah, I mean, I guess I get that.
Because you are by far the best in this whole party when it comes to building and crafting things of a material nature. Whereas Mongo, he's great with things of merriment.
Mm-hmm.
Things of merriment and joy,
Mm-hmm.
because pleasure is not the right word at all, and I know.
Off somewhere, you hear Batty shed a tear and looking at the picture that he had drawn. They had drawn of where Angela was at.
Okay, so I guess I could start with how would you like the music to be activated? Your simple mechanical wind-up thing or something magical?
With magic, we would have to, again, get Mongo involved.
True. I mean,
So,
he is
so
much
like,
more.
if we just make it like a normal music box to where it contains gears and it contains springs and it contains indents, then Mongo's not even gonna be involved in the process. Then it'd
Mhm.
just be me and you.
Mhm.
I wanted to try to do this music box as a group effort, not just two working together. Everyone.
Yeah, I get that.
Alice,
So the music part of it will be difficult.
You feel a tap on your shoulder behind you, Cayenne, and once again, Alice has proven how terrifying she shows up.
I'm doing the dog thing. You know when they take their head and there's like, what?
He holds out
I think Cayenne's neck broke. Crack.
He holds out a makeshift compass to you. He's like, I have business elsewhere currently. This compass will guide you outside of the... you need materials, correct? Woods.
Yes.
Okay.
Woods and some metals.
Well, I'm not familiar with any of that. But this compass will guide you to a tribe of... I don't know what they're called. They have knives for ears? Pointing ears? They live in the woods and they tend to the woods, so...
I've heard that euphemism before. Elves, right?
Oh! Is that the proper terminology for this culture?
Question: Are how tall are they?
Oh, um, well, yeah. She motions over to Hatter. Oh, about as tall as he is. Hatter's like 6 feet tall. He's tall and lanky.
Elf. Okay, I just wanted to make sure when she says
Yeah.
that term, she's not also referring to goblins too.
That's true. So there is a.
But if they're an odd group of people, I don't socialize, as you know. So this compass will take you there safely to navigate the wilds and allow you to return back to the forest. So they would probably be best to inquire about such materials.
That's actually very helpful.
Well, yeah, we're definitely going to need materials that I can work with that also are receptive to magic. So
She just holds out the compass to you and say you can take it.
I
I'll
guess
gently take it.
I guess that'll work.
You look at the compass in your hand, and it's a small bowl, and it's filled with some sort of like kind of rainbowy liquid, almost kind of like what you blow bubbles with. And you see a single doll's arm floating in the middle of it with its finger pointing in a direction.
Okay,
If that thing
that
creepy.
works.
And on the inside of the bowl, you can see north, south, west, and east carved into it with like a sharp object. And it's like, oh, it's creepy as all hell, isn't it?
Yeah, it's finally
I
able to
mean, if
figure
it
out how to
works,
get
it works.
Okay, so yeah, I guess that'll work. I guess I was trying to be more like if we can figure out exactly what materials we are actually
Put a
gonna.
finger on your nose and like,
Yep.
stop talking to fun, not your presence. Yeah. Thoughts of your meanderings roaming around currently. And she heads off.
But wasn't even talking to her. So yeah, I get what you're, I guess, starting someplace with getting, I guess, just the general supply of things that would work, I guess would work just fine. I was thinking more knowing what we need before we go out first, kind of stuff. So, but yeah, if we can just get some supplies and basically end up working with what we've got, kind of thing, that'll be fine.
The biggest component I know that we need, regardless of anything magical involved, is we definitely need wood for the casing on the outside.
Mm-hmm.
If we did use a combination of physical inner workings like gears,
Mm-hmm.
then we're going to need to find metal. Obviously, you would have to smelt it down or find someone who can
Yeah.
to create what you need, and then with magic and anything musical, we would need to get Mongo's input, since he would be the most versed when it comes to anything arcane related.
True.
Because I had an idea that could add a little bit of like his bardic flair into it.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't know if it would work.
Okay. What is your thought?
My idea was to make this like a really pretty box that had carved designs in it that were almost like pretty flowers and almost like firework shapes. That there's a lever in the front that when you activate it and it opens,
Mm-hmm.
all of those carved pieces light up in multicolors, almost like a heartbeat kind of pulse that goes along with the beat of the music inside.
That sounds so damn cool.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I thought that would be really pretty, and given who this would be going to, it says them. That's the only way I can describe them. it's unique in its own way that it will be something interesting and thoughtful.
Okay.
Something to
Okay.
always give you your own light show.
Alrighty. So I guess since you're
That's a massive ragoon.
I guess since your clocks that I made for you and Lomion are functional, I did something right there. Which means that
Everything that you've made is functional. What the fuck you mean?
well, I didn't know if it was going to work until they were turned on, and they could only be turned on at the right time.
I was fixed to say, do not make me gib slap you, cause I will, and then I'll have to perform medicine because you're gonna go flying into a tree or something.
Theoretically, it worked.
He's not scabbard. He's not drawn to
Actively,
trees.
I couldn't know until I turned it on. I couldn't turn it on until the right moment. So there's definitely some components or some processes with that box that I can build into this music box. And not to besmirch Mongo's gifts, but I am also understanding of the arcane as well. So that's what I do. I just do it with mechanics.
Yeah,
So
and
you guys-
I'm not doubting, and I'm not doubting your arcane abilities either. This was more so. This is more so. Bardic arcane.
Yeah, he would be better suited.
That's what I'm meaning when I'm talking about the arcane, because not only is he wizard background, but
Ye-
bard as well, because of his raising and who his wife is, and who
Yeah,
all of his relatives are.
yeah. He's
When
a
it
little
comes
hammy.
to the
He can,
music and when it comes to the music and the theatrics, I thought of Mongo, and I
Yeah.
thought that he would have a lot of fun in working with that portion. You would still be able to use arcane
Mhm.
in your mechanical building abilities, and then I can still help by helping you find the materials, working with you to mold these to reinforce them to where they're stronger by using nature.
Yeah, I mean, I won't give the entertainment portion to Mongo and the higher the more precise understand. I don't know. His understanding of arcane does have qualities above my own. But
guys setting out on your journey to this tribe.
yeah, and this is what I was getting at. But apparently, I can also entertain myself, because as he walks away to go out on this journey, apparently I can shake my booty well enough to summon a god. So and he gives a little wiggle. And as he gives a little wiggle, he'll ask Kretovania for her guidance and protection through this journey.
Religion.
Oh God. And a performance, I guess?
Yep.
Oh God. Oh, I don't have any dice. All right, it's going to be religion.
Yeah, I forgot to grab mine too.
Yeah. Except your dice don't take for freaking ever to roll.
So the compass is easy to follow. It's like following a normal compass, but it's tuned to the specific tribe.
That's not going to be a good religion. That's a 1 on religion. Great. I guess Nikolai's going to get zapped.
You see Nikolai shake
And
his...
performance. Yeah, that's a 1 on religion.
You see Nikolai trying to dance, and it looks like he's having a mid-walk seizure.
No, that was just the religion. I haven't done the performance yet.
Oh no, you don't even get to the performance because you get a Charlie horse on your inner leg. But
Oh, come on. It looks like it's going to be a natural 20 on the performance. Oh, guess not. Never mind.
Yeah, you see Nikolai just starts stumbling a little bit as he gets a massive Charlie horse from his inner thigh.
I guess not now. Ace, pick me up. I can't walk. Alpha. Please pick me up, Ace.
Ace comes over and just picks you up.
Start to try to stretch out my leg.
As you try and stretch out your leg, it makes it even worse.
Ah!
And Cayenne, with your understanding of nature, you know exactly what happens.
Ow, 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 ow.
What did we learn?
That hurts.
Yeah. Yeah, it do.
I'm supposed to
It do hurt.
dance for this god, and I don't understand. Ow.
It's a Charlie horse.
You're
so
not
that's-
going to
yeah.
get you're not going to get the booty wiggle right every time. It's okay.
Oh my god, there's so many quotes coming out of this. Ready? Do a perception for me.
Who?
Both of you.
Okay.
If you can actually roll.
I can roll. It just takes like a few seconds.
I shall take the 23.
Another one.
That's a 7. So that would be a 12, I think, or 13.
Stretching is important,
Yeah, I guess so.
especially when you're wiggling your booty.
Yeah, 13.
So as you guys are leaving the forest and heading out across this giant field,
Wait a minute. Where is Mongo?
he's working with Hatter.
Okay. Oh, that's right. He was making
Yeah, he's working on alchemy with Hatter. And yeah, you're heading across this massive field and just for the first time actually not having a physical guide with you to walk across the wilds, just following this compass to wherever it takes you. Both of you pretty exposed. And you look up, Cayenne, as you're looking at the compass, and you look up in the clouds. And at one point, you see one of the clouds move, like it's standing up on another cloud, and it opens its eyes. And it reaches out and grabs like a smaller cloud, and it kind of almost in shape of like a dragon. And it pulls the other cloud closer and just kind of nudges it a little bit like a mother overseeing her child. I just see. Some sort of
Okay.
cloud dragon.
A cloud dragon. That's cool.
I'm gonna keep walking and just gonna chalk that up to a hallucination.
That's fair.
Cause this is the Feywild. That could either just be a cloud, that could just be seeing things, or that could actually be a dragon, so we're not going to tempt that fate.
Don't worry, Ace is just gonna stumble into a pot of gold and eat some of it.
Don't you put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby.
Having a diplomacy with a leprechaun?
That would be not fun.
That would not be fun at all. One or probably all of us would end up disappearing.
This is the Feywild, and we don't have time to explore that right now.
I was fixing to say, it would be our luck that one of us would end up in an arranged marriage with said leprechaun, so let's not.
Oh God. So, for the better part of the morning into the afternoon, where you guys have to take a moment or so to take a lunch break, essentially. The weather here, it doesn't really follow the norm. Like, you left and it was like, say, high 60s. Technically, with the sun up in the middle of the sky, it should be warmer, but it really hasn't gotten any warmer.
Oh, crazy.
That the weather in the Feywild doesn't even follow the normal patterns.
Oh boy.
And what is even more startling to you, Cayenne, as you take a bite of one of your snacks? There's no mountains here, just hills and forests. You haven't seen a single mountain since you've gotten to the wild.
Oh, that's pretty weird.
Just more of the unsettling aspects of the wilds. Now apparent to you, now that you're not just going here, going there with a guide. You're able to stop and observe things.
So, while we're walking here, sister, you mind helping me keep an eye out for some of the things that we need to make that I need to make that stuff for the prosthetics for and mask for gold.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for anything that Nikolai might need.
Yeah, both of you guys can do a perception.
Do my legs work now?
Yeah, you finally got the cramp out after massaging for 2 hours.
2 hours? Holy crap.
Yeah, it probably hurts so bad you got a knot.
My perception was an 8.
Fine. Oh, that actually might be a good roll. Nope, apparently not. 4 plus... Do the math before the computer does. 10.
It's never a good thing to get you. It says, okay.
Okay. Guess it could be worse.
It could be worse.
Like a is something that's more disturbing.
That's certainly a roll. In my favor. So, yeah, you guys head off where you need to go. You check the compass every once in a while, and the little arm moving in the strange liquid.
Such a weird compass.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be the weirdest thing we come into contact with.
True. Probably not.
Given to
the
what
weirdest
we've
thing.
already experienced so far. Need I remind you, Goblin burying itself?
Yeah, that was definitely one of those weird things.
As you're walking along, you're kind of walking through this massive valley of rolling hills, essentially, of varying heights. And you hear almost like a whistle sound, Cayenne, as you go to take a step. And as you look around quickly at your eye level and then look down, you see this uprooted flower with its roots acting as legs. That it uses petals to make that sound. And you see what looks like what you would, at first, it's kind of like watching a line of army ants, but it's a line of army flowers. And they have sticks between them.
Army flowers, huh?
With food tied to it, like actual meat. And you see them just walking along past you to head off wherever they're going. And you see this too, Nikolai, as you see your sister sitting there perplexed.
Okay. You're right. I guess that's not going to be the weirdest thing I'm going to see.
I guess I'm going to wait for them to cross. Since
And
I guess this is what, a crossing guard?
And as the last one goes, the one that whistled at you follows behind, and You see the grass move a little bit as they wander off to one of the road areas.
Okay, bye.
Okay, bye then.
Did these flowers, so I have to ask, like, did they look more like tulips, daisies, or like sunflower kind of flowers?
Or something else altogether.
Kind of like bell shaped, like a tulip, but instead of a flat top, they kind of come. Each petal comes to a point.
Okay, okay. I always like to know like what kind of flower it's based on because all the petals look completely different.
Yeah. And they were just like this. I fuck yellow.
Of course they were.
Not the weirdest thing you've run into.
Probably not going to be.
Cayenne, do a nature form.
That's better than my last roll. That's a 23.
23. As you're walking along and it's getting into like the afternoon, probably about 2 o'clock, almost 3 o'clock. You've been walking a long damn time for to go visit a tribe. You're kind of looking at the compass in the direction it's pointing, and the first thing that hits you is the smell of death. And then the feeling kind of hitting you too on that divine sense that you have. And Nikolai, you start to smell something too. It reminds you of something before. And as you look up from the compass, you see like these two rolling hills covered in trees on either side, like this long, like the valley. And the grass is just smattered with blood, like for yards. Dozens of dead creatures through this entire area.
Oh, shit.
Absolutely slaughtered. And as you start to walk into this area, you see that towards the middle of this section, there was essentially a butcher shop set up, like a pop-up butcher shop, where they were killing these creatures to harvest them and just left the remains laying here, essentially, that they did meat.
Oh, wow.
Huh.
So...
And as you come to a pause, Cayenne, you're looking around and you feel something hit your cheek and draw blood on it. And you see it ricochet off of Cayenne a little bit, like it was a warning shot, not a kill shot.
Hmm.
Do you look around for whatever just
definitely
struck you, Cayenne?
I'll look around too.
I think Cayenne's just gonna grin and look. Someone wants to die today.
Let's do investigation.
Let's see. There we go. Nice. Alrighty. I have to use a different browser for D&D Beyond now. Okay.
What did you get, Cayenne, for your investigation?
My investigation was
Seeing red.
an 8.
An 8? It catches you off guard for a moment, and Nikolai, you see your sister start to tense up, like wanting to kill something. But you follow where the arrow came from, since you were at advantage for that with Ace. And you see it came from one of the elves that you're probably looking for.
I will speak in Sylvan. We're here, friends. Alice sent us.
You hear that, Cayenne?
I'll even use Gnomish. Speak it in every language I got.
I'm going to
What happened here?
First, I'll speak in Elvish by saying that was very rude.
And you see, you have several archers trained on you from the tribe, and I'll give you a perception with advantage.
I think it was just a warning shot, sister.
That's still very rude. I stand by what I said. I stand by. So I rolled the exact same roll, so it's a 17.
As you as I would assume that you unclench your jaw a little bit, you look over Cayenne, and you take in the scene, and you see what is basically the tribe leader is holding one of these slaughtered creatures, crying and weeping over it.
What do these creatures look like?
It's kind of hard to tell because they've been mutilated so much.
Again, speaking in Sylvan, what happened here?
And one of the elves
Let
kind
us
of
help.
spits in your direction like, "You're outsiders. You don't understand."
I understand that wrong was done.
Since there's one weeping over a creature, I'm going to try Druidic and ask, can we help?
And one of the others looks over and just kind of motions in your direction, like, kind of like this person's fucking speaking druid. And we just shot him. Kind of like questioning their line of orders right now.
Should have
Nikolai,
let off with that. Shit.
Nikolai, do a investigation for me as you guys are. They lower their bows a bit, but still on guard to allow you to approach.
All right, Nikolai wanders off into the woods, it looks like.
What was that?
A one.
Oh, God.
We will find out what happens to Nikolai soon.
Yay!
Cayenne, if you want, you can do a nature as well to try and figure out the situation. I'm assuming you're walking towards them now that the bows have been lowered, keeping your hands like.
I'd be walking with my hands not up like this, but down, turned it like at my sides and walking with my palms facing toward them. Nature was a 16.
You're walking towards them, and you look over as Nikolai bumps into that station of massacre, and you see a bucket falling that's basically filled with a bunch of discarded bits.
You.
And he's now stuck in the bucket with all the discarded bits.
Fucking buckets.
How far is the bucket from me?
Not too far. You take you a few steps to get to it and pull him out.
Yeah, I will.
Ah, God! What is going on?
And Cayenne,
Why do buckets always accost me?
you pull out as you put the bucket down. You pull out one of your books and you check over it real quick, trying to pinpoint what this is. What have been slaughtered here? There's hundreds of bodies spread throughout this entire valley, essentially. And you flip through the pages, examining all your druid books real quick, and you come across it, and it really just kind of walks into the pit of your stomach. These are kind of like similar to the blink dogs of D&D. And you know that they actually do carry intelligence and are a rather neutral type of species that don't outright cause any harm.
So that's what every single one of these creatures are?
Yep.
I hope this butcher's dead.
And you're kind of putting together of why this person is weeping, that they might have some sort of connection to these dogs.
Cayenne's angry now.
Nikolai, as you're cleaning yourself off, you start to walk over to Cayenne, and you look up,
Thank you.
and you see on this side of this butcher thing that's smattered with blood, gold filigree, and you instantly realize who caused this. There's like a banner on the side, each side of this butcher station, essentially. It's on wheels, which is left here. And you see that within the center of this gold filigree of like this banner that's hanging there is a very elegant heart.
I get that, but I don't know how Nikolai would get it. So, but I'll roll with it.
Yeah.
This is our host's enemies doing, I think. Motion to what I saw.
Oh, look.
You look over and you see what Nikolai is looking at. You can search the station to see if anything was left behind.
Yeah.
Just do a quick investigation.
Yeah, quick
before you
investigation.
Right.
Hey, actual real number 19.
I can't roll dice tonight. You guys take a few moments to examine the table, and you find a piece of parchment that says, per decree of the Queen, we need the materials from these animals.
Did Cayenne share what she knows about these creatures?
Not yet.
Okay. So what did they take from these creatures?
From what you see, they took teeth, claws, hide, possibly some organs. It's too hard to tell with how messy everything is.
They took what they wanted and left what they didn't.
I mean,
It's no different than a fucking poacher.
yeah, I suppose so. Isn't that part of animals' like job in nature to be materials necessary for people?
You
What?
Did
can
you really
explain-
just say that to a nature god?
You can
Yeah.
explain the birds and the bees, Cayenne, because you do know Nikolai is dead.
Nikolai, if that were the case, then you would be nothing but mere materials for me if I saw fit. I could tear you limb from limb if I wanted to, and eat them if I
Well,
wanted to. or just beat
there's
you
a
with your own
difference.
arm.
I'm an intelligent thinking being. I'm not just an animal that just
So are these creatures.
okay. Well, that's news to me.
These creatures that were mindlessly slaughtered, poached to use for their internal organs and their external organs, just because this bitch thought it was perfectly fine.
So these are intelligent beings that were slaughtered like this?
Yes.
I mean, not that just mindlessly slaughtering, wild animals that have no,
It's the same as how a certain empire that we know of treats anyone that's not them.
okay.
That's a good one. That's actually a really good comparison.
Okay.
Yeah, because the way you describe these creatures,
Yeah.
they're like blink dogs, so they have just as much intelligence as blink dogs, which
Yep.
can act on their own volition.
Okay. Well, I didn't know. I mean, yeah. There's a certain wrong in going into the wilderness and just purposefully slaughtering creatures for very specific reasons and not using all the perks. I get that. That's wrong, but it's a little bit more wrong, or a bit more wrong, if these are intelligent creatures.
And you hear one of the
It's
elves behind you kind of, oh, the wilds do not disappoint today. There's a mouse speaking. Go ahead and say what you were going to say, Kyan.
I was just like, oh, hi, this is my brother. We were discussing what I was able to research. We're very new to the wilds. We didn't know about this place or what had occurred here. I only have information about these poor souls here through my books. That's how I was able to learn.
They look at one of the creatures and crouch down next to it, closing their eyes. These creatures were sacred to our people, and they're sacred to our God.
Is she speaking, or are they speaking in language I understand?
They're speaking Elven.
Okay, so Nikolai speaks Sylvan, so there should be some understanding there.
Barely, you're getting bits and pieces.
It'd probably be more broken, if
Yeah.
anything.
I'm sending you a message, Brian.
I'm just taking a guess. He would probably get as much as sacred to God,
Yeah.
Probably.
sort of broken. Oh God. Oh. Oh. Mhm. Would you say it's like that, or would? Hold up. Hold up. Hold up.
Uh-oh.
Nikolai, I would ask, do you have some type of interment rights that we can assist with at this time?
What would I think would be appropriate? Because this is, ah, God, this is basically a mass slaughterhouse.
I do a
From how
religion-
you described it, it's
Yeah.
basically an open slaughterhouse.
Yeah, do me a religion, Cayenne.
Also, that is hell that you just said.
I'm aware.
I'm sorry, Nick. I'm sorry, Nikolai. That's. Oh, I'm
What?
sorry. And you said investigation?
Religion.
Religion. Oh, just because of what? Oh no. Well, it had to happen at some point. That's a 1. But basically, how well you'll be able to understand them is like a combination between Appalachian Southern with slang mixed with Cajun.
Hmm.
So good luck.
Getting a few words and inflection will help me understand. That's about the gist of anything.
Yes.
Cayenne, as you turn to talk to the elf, you feel your foot crunch as your foot goes into the cavity of one of the creatures.
No.
And you just feel it in your eye. You can just feel it just drop in your stomach as to what you did by being a little clumsy.
Yeah, that's not okay. I would be making amends for this. I'd be making amends for this by apologizing profusely.
Alrighty, so did Nikolai witness this?
Yeah, you did.
Okay. I would like to roll insight to not screw this up because there's something I'm going to say that, based on the question that Nikolai just asked, that I don't know. I want to make sure that was a mistake or not.
No, that was a mistake.
Okay, it's clear enough it was a mistake. Okay.
I will. Let me send you a message because I will give you this.
Well, okay. Um, can we know what you call the name of your god and we can help pray at least?
This elf that actually came to greet you is looking at your face, Cayenne, looks down at your foot, then looks to Nikolai, and you can see the tension in them as like,
I think that was an accident. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, Cayenne would be profusely apologizing. She would explain that she is very upset about the situation in its entirety.
do a perception, both of me. Both of you, sorry.
Both of you?
Oh, yeah.
I kind of figured you might be a little crazy, but I didn't think you're that crazy. Perception, you said?
Yeah.
That's a 9.
Okay, that wasn't double. Okay. 13.
They play as you're there. It's getting later in the afternoon, and you can start to see the moon starting to peak up. And you nudge your sister to look over too, and you see that the moons look rather unhappy, glaring in your direction. And one of them even appears to like have a little. It's not actually crying, but it looks like it is crying over what it sees. It's just making this all that much more unsettling.
Yeah, I'll bring that up. I think maybe the moons don't like this either. In
Yeah.
point.
The
Especially
elf,
the one.
looks over and says, Gallier is our god. That's who you would pray to.
Gallier?
Mm-hmm.
Is there any... I just learned, honestly, that there are multiple ways to pray. Is there a specific way we should pray to your God to help?
Since you are newcomers, just pray.
Okay. Nikolai will just pray.
You can pray too, Cayenne. Both you would have advantage because you're helping him.
Yeah. And that would be religion
Yeah,
or performance?
religion.
Religion. 13 on that one. Rolled so
Advantage
fast
is
it's
a
weird.
modified 20.
Well, they both rolled 13, so I guess 17 is the total.
You both start to pray, kind of chanting this name of this god, like, God, I don't know who you are, but I'm sorry for... And you just kind of trail on a little bit.
Please help accept these butchered souls, whatever, you know,
And
and comfort these people.
as you kind of look up from praying, crouch down next to this poor thing that you actually stepped on, Cayenne, you see that the entire area is now bathed in moonlight, and the elves that are mourning the loss of these creatures, they're like stone statues made of the moon, which are
Huh.
And you see this figure standing there in the open field, and they crouch down next to one of the dogs and start to walk over to you, and their skin is itself is the color of the moon, having that soft glow when the sun hits it. And you can see their hair just kind of floating unnaturally as they're draped in these beautiful druidic robes of thousands of leaves of different plants.
That's cool.
And you can't really tell if it's male or female. They're almost kind of elven in nature, eternal type of nature. And they come over to you, and they peer in your direction. You get a glance at their eyes, and they're pure white, but there's all these fissures to their eyes of gold
That's cool.
with no actual like pupils. Both of you carry burdens.
So just to be sure, this is not like someone of this party of elves.
No, this is
Oh.
clearly you instantly know this is the presence of a god hand. Oh,
Oh.
and they reach out, they put their fingertip on your mouth. And you defiled one of my puppets. I'm not angry. Don't worry. But you will fix it. It's not every day that there is a massacre of my precious children. But it's also not every day that you run into a god that can fix it. And
Is
they
Nikolai
lower
hearing
their-
any of this?
They lower your finger from your mouth gently. And you hear this, Nikolai.
Fixing it is what we plan to do.
It is
We
not
were
your war.
It may not be our war, but we were originally sent here to find items to make a gift for someone. So
To someone's.
we were sent here for another reason entirely.
Well, you can achieve both goals, as you are a god of life.
Huh.
I will. Okay. I will assist you, since they are my puppies. I cannot do life. I am a judgment god.
Huh.
Oh, so you and my sister are alike in a way.
I observe the world and I pass judgment on those that are burdened and unburdened. Sometimes someone needs to have a good crimp in their daily plans to figure out the better of themselves.
Do you only work in this world?
They look perplexed. There's others. How strange.
Huh. Interesting. Yeah, we come from a different.
I mean, is it so odd that they haven't heard of other realms?
No.
Just like with Alice, she was very perplexed on the state of our being when she met us the first time.
True. Well,
Well, we shall have some wine and resolve this matter.
sister, I think you
Absolutely.
can help in some way. Remember,
Well,
remember what you did as I go through all my stuff and pull out the picture of, that Nikolai drew of what Kyangan did in the field after that first fight with the zombies.
The giant ass moonbeam.
and the fact that she was just
Damn.
revitalizing the area as she was walking. It's like I think that was part of you before you knew you somehow. Maybe now that you know you could do more. Right? I mean, you know who you are now, right?
Yeah. All I was doing was pacing.
Yeah, but there was something there that you had tapped into, I think.
Something. That was before I even knew anything, though.
I know.
Way before.
You bring the puppies back. You gain favor with me. And you've also helped the tribe. They're such wonderful people.
We will definitely help.
They're so amusing to watch. They only really take things that are freely given. And oh, so many prayers when they have to take something that is not freely given.
It's kind of a neat idea.
What? That reminds us when we went to the Burning Temperament.
Yeah.
That sounds
Jir told
unpleasant.
us.
Yeah. I really thought I would have to ask the Earth for her. Like, that doesn't make any sense. But I guess I get it
It's very
now.
Pretty. Unless you like intense heat, I don't recommend. It's very pretty there, though. Oh, wait a minute! I need to show Beetle. My fucking Beetle.
You pull up the beetle.
Yeah.
The moment you pull out the beetle, it scurries up to your finger and stretches and does a little dance, happy to get some fresh air after a while.
Yay.
And this being just kind of reaches over and pets them ever so slightly. Oh, that is delightful.
This is Garnet.
Such a unique little creature. Radiates so much warmth.
If you would like to, while we assist you, I would be more than happy for you to be in the companionship of Garnet until I get finished.
They smile at this, and it's just like a delighted smile as they take the beetle from you ever so gently. And they reach out and they kind of grasp your neck and your jaw where it meets. And they speak in the divine god language that Nikolai can't understand. You're burdened by this death. We'll correct that. Your brother is burdened. And you need to make me a promise to help him with that burden. For what I'm going to reveal to you.
Okay. I don't think Cayenne is moving right now. She's like,
This very
I'm a-
unsettling gaze on me.
Yeah.
What'd I do?
Hey, show me it.
Absolutely.
So, if just from my understanding, did you indicate that all of the elves were kind of like stasis right now?
Yeah, they look like statues carved out of moonstone.
Okay. So it's just us and this deity that are proceeding through time right now in some way. Okay.
They basically turned the light switch off to that realm, and you're in their realm that is a mirror of that realm.
Alrighty.
Time to get to work on fixing some puppies.
And as you start to calm down a little bit, and you go start to prepare for the situation, you hear something that truly just kind of unsettles both of you. That fringes on Alice's level of disturbing. You look up over your shoulder briefly, and you look up Nikolai,
Uh-huh.
and you actually hear the moons crying as they float above. that in this place they actually have a voice.
Oh wow. So there is something to what others have said about the moons watching this. They're just observing. Wow, it's fascinating.
Diane's like, I don't like that. I don't like that at all.
No. Mm-mm.
So I don't know how I can help, sister, but I do know a spell that deals with undoing death. I do not know that it will solve any of the problems here, but maybe some of the arcane that goes into using this spell can help with what you are maybe trying to do.
Cayenne,
Hmm?
you would I'm just gonna give it to you. You would know that that spell like that could actually act as essentially the material component for what you need to do.
That could work as one of the components that I need.
Okay. Well, you got my magic.
Since you are in a divine realm, Cayenne, you would have a +10 on your religion pulse.
I'm trying to see. Is... Oh, I was so confused at what I just saw in my spells. I got confused for a second. I don't really have a spell for what I was wanting to do because it's basically gonna be working on bringing these dogs back.
Well, just for mechanical purposes, I'll tell you what Nikolai has here. He has the spell Revivify, which literally brings a
Okay.
creature back to life.
And you would use your divine abilities to basically amplify that and perfect it.
But unfortunately, Revivify does not restore missing body parts.
That's where Cayenne.
So it's like,
Well, actually, the only thing I actually did have was reincarnate.
That would be weird to use on this bit right now.
Yeah, it would, because those components are odd.
well, what exactly does the spell do? I mean, like I said, the Nikolai's Revivify isn't going to work as it is, but that's where I would got to the point where, like, you know, maybe something of it could help.
Okay, Nikolai, do a religion for me. You have a
Yeah, the only thing that this does is that it basically, as long as the creature has been dead no longer than 10 days, the spell forms a new adult body for it and then calls the soul to enter the body.
Okay.
Cayenne,
21.
give me a religion. Remember, you have +10.
You said religion?
Yeah. And advantage.
Alright, slow dice.
Yours are going slow too?
Yeah. Well, it's always, the digital dice always roll slow on my computer.
I
It's
switched to
just standing.
Firefox and it works beautifully.
So that's 29,
That's 29.
plus.
Yeah, using those two spells together in a very creative way, I think, would work.
So that's a 47 for you, Cayenne.
Jesus.
For you, Nikolai, add 18 on your roll.
So that'd be a 17 and 18.
Yeah,
It's 36.
yeah.
Holy crap!
Because the moon deity is providing inspiration to you both.
All right.
You see, so Kyan, Nikolai, he starts to make this circle, and you kind of stop him, and you basically slice your hand open, and you're letting him lead you around to make this giant revivi circle out of your blood. And you're just watching as like her blood drips, Nikolai. It's like pure white light dripping as you make this circle.
Nikolai's going to straight up ask, should I add some of mine?
You're like, no. And you would know that would instantly kill him.
Yeah, not do that.
Okay. We have a cat screaming to the abyss. Hi, Cheddar.
And you finish making a circle, and you're just kind of like feeling a little bit more lightheaded than you want to be because how much blood it took.
We're just gonna spin in circles and fall down.
give her some honey mead.
And,
Oh, Jesus.
You both go to the middle of the circle and start to complete the ritual. You kind of follow Nikolai's lead on the revivify spell. And you kind of see as you look past him and that weird kind of like weakness of like, I lost a little bit too much blood. You can see all the broken threads to these animals that have been severed, their life. And you bring your hand up, and you just see them all starting to reconnect across the entire field.
Oh, wow.
And you instantly cast, within that, you see a pulse of light come down through each thread, and it hits the body, and it kind of jolts each body, and it's instant regeneration across all of them.
How many was that?
At least a tribe of 4.
Holy crap.
And you realize, Cayenne, that unlike your sister, that hi, bud.
He's been having troubles popping up on our desk. They have, our desks have our smooth glass, so that's probably what just doesn't have any grip.
I know, it sucked. He face planted into the
And he
ground.
weighs a ton.
Yeah, you feel like accomplishment, Cayenne, as you pretty much brought this species of what this animal is back from extinction. You prevented it from ceasing to exist in the world, despite the circumstances.
Awesome.
How many spell slots did I use? Just so I know.
5.
Yeah.
5?
And you
5
take,
total?
You get 3 points of exhaustion.
2 or so
That
okay, so a
works.
third level and a second level basically?
Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
I'm halfway exhausted.
Yeah, you can see the exhaustion on your sister's face there, Nikolai.
Oh boy.
I'm gonna be part of Alice's domain for a little bit until this regenerates.
A little tired there.
Just a little tired, huh?
At least you didn't take full exhaustion.
Yeah, we would be lost forever. At least until I slept for 16 hours.
One
At least.
eternity sleep later.
One hibernation later.
And the god comes up to you and pats you on the back. Oh, Oh, you really are such a wonderful life god.
I just do what feels right. Thank you.
And they just lean down next to you and speak in that divine language again. It's not your nature to be cruel.
Only when it's needed.
I'm gonna say sometimes you're
And
really
even
fucking
then, it's
mean.
even then it's rare.
Well, I will let you rest. Or until you deal with the business with this tribe, and then we will take care of your brother's burden. And as you go to say something, Cayenne, you see the world around you as you blink is back to normal, and all those animals are back up, kind of looking around like, what happened?
If there's a small one near me, like I guess a puppy.
It was a puppy who stepped in.
Oh my god! Of course it would be. If there's one closest to me, I'm gonna tell them welcome back.
It licks your face with this just like rigid, like almost serpentine tongue that looks at you in the face. Its fur is like just a wave pearlescent, short fur, not very long and
Aw.
shaggy.
Cute.
And it just kind of headbutts you gently, nuzzling against you.
Are these critters still all dirty and grimy?
Oh yes.
Okay,
It
I
is a
will.
mess.
Nikolai will attempt to use prestidigitation to clean them up as he can get to them.
The one that was mourning is loving on her formerly dead companion. And she looks over to you and simply almost like a hiss, but you know it's not in anger towards you. What have you done?
We helped.
Oh shit! I don't think I can actually honestly answer them.
You could just be like, I pray to a god.
We
Some beautiful
prayed as
person
instructed.
described this person, came to us, and asked for our help, and we helped.
We helped through prayer.
And they come over to you and they just put their entire palm on your face, Cayenne, and you can feel the blood of the former blink dog leave a handprint on your face.
It's not the first time I've had blood on my face. This is fine. I've had the goblins paint me, okay?
With all sorts of substances.
Yep.
We don't ask what goblin paint is.
No. Just let it happen.
Don't ask how the
Just let
sausage
it
is made.
happen. We don't ask.
We don't ask questions about goblin culture.
We just say you did a wonderful job.
And pat them on the head.
Yes. They are precious beans. You can't do them no wrong.
They look at you kind of like you're a druid.
Yes.
I thank you for what you have done here. My tribe thanks you.
We're very happy to help. When we came here, as soon as I saw what this place did look like, I was filled with nothing but rage. I'm glad that I was able to help fix this with the help of my brother.
She looks
I just-
around for another person that looks like you.
I'm I'm like motioning to Nikolai.
And Ace is pointing down as well.
We get questioned a lot. We come from a place where forgotten children are raised, and we claimed each other as siblings. We've been together since we were kids. Chosen family.
We do something similar when we find lost that have no place to turn. We accept them into our tribe with open arms.
We've met one other tribe like that. Very, very nice people. Interesting stories. Very primal in nature.
He looks around at all the beautiful puppers, and she has like a headdress like yours, but it's not fashioned from antlers. It's actually fashioned from crystalline branches from a tree that have been twined together.
Very nice.
That's cool.
And her robes are fashioned from leaves and various foliage. There's no actual like animal on her at all. She's very much one with the floral side of nature.
More like a dryad or a nymph.
Yeah,
As a form of fashion sense.
he's fussy.
Sorry, buddy.
And she looks at you and she's like, "This valley is it's sacred to our companions. They come here and celebrate under the moon's light. Unfortunately, with the way things happened, it was, I guess, only a matter of time for the Queen territory to come in contact with it.
You already don't like her. We really don't. Just from what my brother showed me, seeing the insignia of hers and then seeing what had happened here, that already kind of put her to the top of my I don't like you, you need to disappear list. I'm not normally like this, but when someone screws with nature on an absolutely abominable level, no. My time for being nice and kind is over.
She looks to you and she's like, "Let's not fill the air with any more bitterness. There is enough.
Oh, absolutely.
Come." And she motions for you to follow them. A few of the dogs are just kind of watching you a little bit and blinking a little bit, and not like blinking out of existence, they're just blinking, kind of watching you. All of them kind of like paying attention to you briefly, knowing what you did.
Is Nikolai being approached by a bunch of puppies that want to play?
One of them
Since
comes
he's
up.
small.
One of them comes up and just licks him from head to toe. Like you're constantly getting covered in slobber.
Yeah, I'm
Oh my god.
trying to use prestidigitation to clean them up anyway. So
Nikolai could literally ride one of the puppies like a like a battle mount.
He could. And do a nature for me, Cayenne.
24.
24. You look over as you follow into the forest, and you see one of these creatures is laying down, kind of like just chilling in the middle of all the group. And you can tell it's kind of an older one because it's grown like skin hair, almost like a beard, and it's like
That's cool.
and you're like, oh, that's obvious. That must be a characteristic from getting older. And you realize if this thing stood up, its shoulders would be at your shoulders.
That's a big puppy.
Ah,
That's likely the alpha.
Like 4 or 5 feet at the shoulders.
Yeah.
That's a big doggy. How tall is Cayenne?
I think she's about
5'7".
Yeah, that would make it. Yeah, to easily make it about 4 feet at the shoulders. Jesus. Or even higher.
Well, easily right at 5 feet at the shoulders for this.
Yeah, you're like, that's a big dogger.
Which means they could rest their snout on the top of your head, probably.
Like a great Dane is coming up and just boom, using you as a headrest.
Yup. Still gets dwarfed by red and blue, though.
Yeah. One thing you pick up, Nikolai, as you're getting approached by all these weird dogs is that they actually have 2 pupils, which you've never seen before. In
Oh.
nature.
It's fascinating.
And you see a few of the elves kind of decorating some of the puppers in respect. But you're led to the camp. And you see all the tents are made from nature, and knowing that how they gather things probably just warms your druid soul to its core.
Yes.
And you can see kids running around, playing. You get a glimpse of what they're playing, and it just kind of makes you pause for a moment, and it's like Goblin Bandits and Nobles.
That's pretty funny.
And you look over, and you see this too, Nikolai, as one of the kids is protesting. Just because I'm a goblin doesn't mean I have to be the goblin all the time.
Oh.
It's like, hey, buddy. I know at least 2 goblins that are the awesomest people I've ever known.
And they look at you, and they turn towards you, and they're wearing an eye patch, and you can see that there's a big eye drawn on the eye patch. They're like, really?
Yeah.
I want to grow up and be a strong goblin.
And you can.
I eat all my vegetables, even the ones I don't like, which is all of them.
We actually know quite a few awesome goblins back home.
Do they have names?
There's a whole row of awesome goblins where we're from, and I have lost track of all of their names except Poltz
There's also thought.
and Fought. Fought is very important.
What's a row?
It's the place. What it's called in the place that they live in the town that we from recently.
It's basically a street or
Just a
a small
street.
village.
Small village, yeah. Small village within a village, or within a town. we have large cities here?
They look around. This is our city. It moves a lot.
Cities are very different here, brother. They
Yeah.
don't stay in one point in time of day.
Probably not.
Jesus, what a sentence. But it's true.
They don't stay in one place in time and space.
Got that. They are not one stationary season.
So the little kid runs off to play with the other kids. And you're just kind of seeing people go about their business from the tents. Quite a few people looking at you.
Oh, there's one thing I wanted to tell the kid before he left. Dang it.
You can holler it at him.
Hey, Goblin Kid, what's your name first?
He pauses for a moment. The moons haven't told me what my name is yet.
Okay. Well, also to know, I don't know the nature of your game that you're playing, but goblins can be great people, and not all nobles are great. Just keep that in mind.
And they just have like this big grin on their face and run off after the other kids.
Nikolai, may I start something? Shit starter.
You talk about throwbacks on like old things that came up. Chad just brought up the Magic City with the actual houses that move.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Even though I wasn't there, just hearing about that, I'm like, nope.
Cayenne has anxiety.
It's like that is Cayenne's worst nightmare. even more so than going to the elemental plane of water. I'm sorry, but no. Water all around. I can't see up, sideways, or down.
Yeah.
No.
And there's
No.
many abyssal type of creatures living in that water.
No. I like
I kind of wonder how the elemental plane of water works in the sense that, like, there are, water, aquatic creatures that can't take abyssal depths and need sunlight and stuff like that. So, like, how does that work in the elemental plane of water where everything is water and there's no
Cayenne
depth,
has to
there's
do
no
the
surface,
trial of the ocean through it.
there's no bottom depth, there's no surface? Like, how
You'll
does that
probably find out. Fran's like, I'm dreading that test. I do not want to do that test.
work?
no. As someone who literally went to the Okefenokee Swamp on an airboat ride, who was in the fetal position the entirety of the ride because I was so freaked out by the pitch black water you cannot see into. No. No. I'm good. So good.
Stay on the ground. Thank you very much. Do I have gills? No. I'll stay on the ground.
I prefer feet on ground, not in water. You both are led to the central tent where you're invited in as guests, and someone hands you a plate right away, Cayenne, as you come in, and it's covered with all sorts of vegetarian options, which you're happy to see after dealing with the food you've had to eat the last couple of days.
Works for me.
And you're handed a leaf your size, Nikolai, with portioned out vegetarian food as well.
I'm glad I didn't ask the kid the other question, because that probably would have taken offensive.
you see each of the elves that are in here. They you see a weird ritual. You see them put their hand in their food, like their thumb, and they walk to the elder and they mark the elder with that food, saying something in their native elven language.
We see this.
Yeah.
Can I concentrate on the words that are being said so I can at least mimic them?
Yeah, go for it. Performance.
Performance, not investigation first?
Performance.
Okay. Oh, shit. Oh. Nikolai's going to offend.
Nikolai is loving ones tonight.
Not loving them.
Cayenne, as you're watching this happen, you see Nikolai get up with his food, walk over in that direction, and the elder kind of looks down at him as they're sitting cross-legged. And Nikolai does mumble out the words, not exactly right, but he's trying. And then you see the elder start laughing and just kind of pour a cup of water on Nikolai very quickly. And you instantly take offense to this, Nikolai, like, what I'm saying. And you just pause for a moment, Nikolai, as you realize your tail was in the campfire, and they just put you out.
Oh. Thank you.
You were so distracted with the fact it was right. You misplaced where you stood. That's such a Nikolai thing, too.
Yeah.
All I can imagine is if Mongo did that, it'd be like that video of the cat who got their tail in the candle, and you just see it just looks back at its tail as fire is slowly creeping up, and you just hear click, like what? Meanwhile, the dog is just standing there looking at the cat, like, dude, are you seeing this?
Or
Be Mongo.
Or the cat laying next to the furnace and smoldering.
Yeah. Cats don't know this.
Cats. Slightly retarded on a spiritual level.
Yes.
They look over to you as they begin to eat food and speak in common, not elven. And they're like, we thank the gods for why you came, specifically the moon god. But what reason are you seeking our tribe?
Who's closest when that was asked? Are we both right up on each other?
It's kind of like a round bonfire. There's about 3 other elves between you and them. They're at essentially the head of the bonfire table, so Nikolai is currently avoiding the bonfire table.
Yes. And avoiding speaking right now. So he nods over to Cayenne.
Well, before what we had seen earlier, we were told by someone in our party to seek y'all out to help find materials for something we want to make.
Materials.
Yes, we're wanting to make a music box as a gift for a friend.
And they look at you very confused. They're like, I don't know what this music box is, but we can provide materials as a thank you.
We appreciate that very much. Essentially, what a music box is it's a square box.
Yeah,
It
it
can
doesn't have to be
have
square.
any. It can be any manner of picture or design that's painted or carved into the wood. But on the inside, it has mechanisms that move to produce sounds.
They look at you very perplexed. And they say something to one of the other
Okay.
elves, and the elf sets their plate down and comes back and sits down. And you look over, and they have almost what looks like a guitar.
Yeah.
And you can see there's strings on the outside, and then there's strings on the inside, and you can see on the outside that actually, Cayenne, do a nature.
That's a 26.
You look over and you put two and two together rather quickly that this musical instrument is passed down, and whoever gets it next adds a bit more of the story to its outer shell, essentially.
That's pretty cool.
And they begin to play, and you can hear the outer part of the strings being plucked gently, but then you can hear the reverberations of the ones on the inside, almost adding a harmony to it. And
Huh.
they motion over.
To see how that can actually work.
Such as that.
Yes.
Similar. Yeah.
But with magic and machine.
And they just look at it.
Okay. Has Nikolai got any of his Aricha Magicka back together?
No, you haven't had an opportunity to work on it that much.
Okay, yeah, I know what'll work. His Mantis tool. Not the homunculus, the Mantis tool itself is a machine. And I'll show that to demonstrate what a machine is.
They just look at it very confused, like strange creations of a mouse.
It's an apparatus to perform mechanical functions instead of doing them yourself.
You understand what they say, Cayenne, is they say it in Druid. Say the words that help you sleep at night. And they say that in Druid towards Nikolai. Clearly not really understanding machinery at all. And they motion, they're like, we will provide materials for you as thanks after the dinner.
We appreciate that very much.
And another elf comes in, opens a bottle of wine, and it smells amazing to you, Cayenne. And they pour you a cup of it and begin pouring everybody a cup of it. And you can try doing a nature on this since you are trying to be a alcohol maker to a degree.
Yeah, making mead and wine.
Yeah.
I still got to use some of Grandpa's ingredients that he gave me.
That's true.
Because he basically gave me like a beginner's like brewer's kit
Yeah.
essentially.
Brew your own beer kit.
Yeah. And you said do a nature?
Yeah.
Nature is a 18.
You smell it a little bit, Cayenne, and it almost smells kind of like a sweet mint. And you can see the bottom of the glass through it like it's crystal clear. And it's like, huh, what is this? Gonna have to save some for Mongo.
Mm-hmm.
And you can ask what what it is out of respect. They probably won't be disrespected by that.
After I've tasted it, I will ask. Because Cayenne does love mint. Because when she was a centaur, one stereotype that stayed, that is actually that is well known about most horses. One of the favorite treats of most horses is mint, specifically peppermint.
That's cool.
So yes, Cayenne did love mint.
I would say you still do.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Especially when she can get her hands on these special snacks that Feisty makes, which are a confection of hardened flat pieces of dark chocolate peppermint squares that she
Yeah.
likes to call peppermint bark.
Yeah, the special.
I'm
Feisty
sorry,
snack.
but Feisty gets that creation.
That's
No one else
fair.
gets that in this. No one else gets that in this campaign. If someone else can make marshmallows, she gets to make peppermint bark.
That is fair. Up front, you get kind of a little bit of a sweet raspberry, and then kind of like a very ripened blueberry, and then it just kind of trails off smoothly into the mint.
Okay. So more of like a sweet mint rather than the really strong like spearmint or peppermint.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of actually quite delightful.
Refreshing. Not gonna lie, wines that are distilled with a little bit of mint, actual sweet mint, not peppermint or spearmint, is actually really good, especially if you do like mint and usually in a white wine,
That sounds
be a little sweeter and light.
very good.
It is good.
Yeah, Nikolai, you taste it and you get some of the same notes, but not to the same depth. You're just like, oh, this is good.
Sounds like it would be good, yeah.
I know that Cayenne at some point with Mongo's help in the brewing process, or at least making cocktails, she's gonna work on special bottles for everybody
Oh, that's
in her
awesome.
own time.
Oh, that's cool.
She's gonna work on growing her own ingredients though.
Free to ask any questions you want as you guys are enjoying the meal with the upper, what would be considered the upper nobility of this tribe, the elder and the council, essentially.
Actually, yeah,
Yes.
Nikolai definitely has some queries on this this moon god. Basically just gonna share the stories that he's heard and share the observations to have a conversation about it. Like, so if someone like engages him, he'll try to engage someone. Is there someone that looks amenable to talking to a stranger?
It's an open table. It's essentially like a powwow. We just talk freely.
Okay. So when we came to this world, we were told to stay in at night because the moons are dangerous as they look upon and judge us. But from what you guys seem to venerate and what I think our encounter was with at least someone, an emissary of your deity, I don't know that there's anything to be afraid of while the moons watch us. Unless you are doing something maligned. Am I understanding that right?
The elder shushes a few people down. We believe in the will of the god. We do not question their choices. Our people are raised to understand that you will carry the unjust thoughts and unruly thoughts. And you have to live with those burdens of those thoughts. And learn to grow with them and make them a part of you and make you stronger. So, we do not fear the judgment of the moon. The moons remind us of the burdens that we carry, the stones that we have upon our shoulders.
Okay. So, lest one feels they are above judgment and correction and would otherwise welcome constructive criticism and recommendations, there is nothing to fear from the moons, right?
Correct.
Oh, okay.
Unless you think you are above.
Okay.
Then judgment shall drag you down.
Ah. Well, in my line of work, one only gets better from listening to others on how improvements can be made. So I suppose there's no reason for one to fear judgment so long as they are just. Okay. Nice to know.
And it's like, I like this guy. I like these people. And they take another drink of the green alcohol.
I am sipping the alcohol and enjoying food.
Yeah, it's like a full vegetarian spread of what the wilds have to offer. Foods that you've never really experienced, man. One of the more perplexing things, it's a nut, but it's soft on the inside. Almost like a grape.
Well, that'd be weird.
That's really weird.
But it tastes kind of like either kind of like a savory peanut or a sweet peanut, depending on the size of it.
I was just going to say, sounds like you're describing boiled peanuts.
I was fixing to say, would you say it's more like the consistency of like a boiled peanut? Because I've actually had those and know that consistency.
Yeah, I tried those myself when I was in North Carolina, and they're actually not bad. They're actually kind of tasty, but they're just too much work to deal with. I don't want to eat them.
Just wait. I know I'm gonna get a look for this. Just wait until you try peanuts and RC Cola.
Okay, so.
Hey, no, we'll save it for the post show.
Okay.
Hold that thought until later.
Actually funny.
So, the dinner carries on, and if you have any questions, like I said, ask this. Yeah.
I will ask them also, since they're from this realm, if they have any insight they can share on Kretovania, who is also from this realm.
They look at each other and they clearly don't know who that is, that they only really just focused on the one deity and possibly a few others that are in association. And that is not one of them.
Very good. Thank you. Continue enjoying food.
I don't know if this would be a good question to ask while we're enjoying dinner. But the question Cayenne wants to ask is, What drew the Red Queen to this place to do what she did?
You can openly ask that question. They
I apologize if this is not the right time to ask this, but it will help us understand for something we have to do later down the road. What drew the queen to this place to do what she did?
they look over and they kind of see him mulling over an answer, trying to figure out how to phrase it. As outsiders, you're aware that things move, right?
Yeah.
We knew one day that this valley would come in contact possibly with her. There's no good answer as much as the good question asked. We don't think it was anything specific outside of her, people say, insanity. Just decided to do
All the more reason I do not like her at all. Why does she exist? Why is she allowed to exist? That's questions for another time.
Like, who the fuck is that? I just lady.
Alice has been trying
Like,
her
no,
damnedest to
legit,
get rid of
like-
her, I guess.
Yeah, like Cayenne's literal thinking, it was like, whose insanity was it to think her into existence and to allow her the ability to breathe?
What a big fucking spider.
What?
A spider is crawling down the wall on my side, and it's like the size of a penny.
That's a big spider.
And
Like, holy shit.
you got a friend.
We have full-on tarantulas out here.
Oh, we do too. It's Texas.
We also got bats, got foxes.
We got bats, but those are closer to Austin where they fly over the bridge.
You get bats every night. It's freaking
Yeah,
cool.
out here you can go out on the porch and you can watch them around the lights chasing bugs.
Y'all still need to make a bat house.
Yes, I've been wanting to do that. So that's the answer you get, Cayenne, regarding the slaughter.
Okay. Not to tear open wounds, but they were obviously taking very specific parts of your friends. What purpose do these parts have?
They look over at you, Nikolai. We do not know the purpose of why or the reason. As if those animals are sacred to us, we bury them as our own.
Understand. With
I would not ask you at the death of your sister, in motions to you, Clan, what parts are valuable of her while you are mourning?
yeah, I get it. Meant no offense, just trying to understand. And understanding is the best tool against a problem.
Cayenne, in your wisdom of gods, or just the situation in general of insane people, having met with Alice on quite a while, there was no reason to this outside of the sheer insanity.
Just like the answer to that question, brother, is literally the exact same. There was no rhyme or
Okay.
it was just because. Insanity is a thing that, unless it is controlled, it can do things this catastrophic or worse.
Yeah, it's true.
All the more reason we need to deal with this.
So the rest of the meal kind of goes by fairly quietly with the walking back. Plates are gathered and taken care of, and that alcohol is starting to hit you pretty heavy. Like, it's not like a high proof alcohol, it is like a slow build up. And you've gone through at least half a bottle of one of those.
That's fun.
And as you guys are leaving the tent to essentially get the materials you need, the elder pats you on the shoulder. I'm glad that you speak the truth openly. The wine would have revealed if you were lying.
That wine was delicious.
Huh. Like, seriously? This wine can show truths?
Yes.
Huh. I'm going to attempt to speak a lie. I'm going to attempt to speak a lie. I want to know what happens.
Nikolai, if you go to try and speak the lie, it's kind of like, liar, liar. You just can't formulate the words to say the lie.
Okay. Like, literally, it ties your tongue from speaking
Yeah.
the lie? That's crazy.
And you're seeing Nikolai just like struggle trying to get the words out. He can't.
You're gonna try to very artfully craft the lie so it's not a lie, but it's not true.
It's still happening.
It's like, whoa, this is neat stuff. Is this a
Does he
trade
burst
secret,
a
guys?
blood vessel.
It's not Mongo levels of frustration.
So is this a trade secret? Because I know somebody could very well use this wine to help in dealing with people.
The wine is very.
Is there something your tribe needs that's maybe we can help provide? So that we can get some. Not a lot, just some on a regular.
We plan to send a single bottle with you. It's hard to produce.
Ah,
One of the key ingredients is only gathered from. What is it? And they say it in Druid, a waterfall. They don't know how to say it in common.
Okay.
Under the brightest night of the moons.
Huh.
Hey, Nate.
Huh. What?
There it goes.
Oh. Okay, we got a spider friend.
Just run at the wall. Goddamn spider. I'm not used to spiders being that big.
You have to take a look at it, make sure it is safe.
Yeah,
Looks like
you go
it's-
right ahead. Yeah, you go right ahead.
Well,
And be like, hey, spider bro, you safe?
yeah, I don't care if it's here, honestly, if it's safe to be here.
But you get what they're saying is that the main ingredient essentially has to be gathered on a specific time in a specific place.
That makes sense. Well, that's fun. So it'll be sparingly made.
And you're like, and that ingredient has to be gathered from here, the wilds.
Can you imagine how useful this could be for Kippa?
Oh, Lord. It'd be very useful for Kippa, but we're going to have to be here a lot to make it.
I know.
And
It's-
we also don't know how much would need to be consumed and for how long the effects would last.
oh. I'm sure those are two questions that can be queried on right now, and I will do that. So, how much does one need to imbibe, and how long does it last?
So you find out the very specifics of this wine. Not all the ingredients, just mainly the primary specific ingredient of. Oh, that's all.
What the heck was that?
I don't know, something fell. Do you relay this to Nikolai?
Yeah.
So I didn't catch on how much and how long it lasts.
You didn't get the specifics of that. It's never been tested. It's basically that the reason why it works is you sit down, you have a meal with them, they give you wine, you're like, oh, wine. You don't realize it's going to make you just start. Can't lie to them.
Huh. All right. Well, I will attempt to speak a lie until I can speak a lie. See how long it lasts, and balance that with how much I've consumed. That might come up with an equation.
But, Cayenne, you're shown several woods that you could pick from. One that really catches your interest is one of the metals. You're hesitant to touch it at first, but the elf picks it up and puts it in your hand. It's an iron, but it's a fey iron.
Huh. Yeah, I think Cayenne's hands are still shaking because, like, still.
You're like, I'm holding iron, but I'm not dying from it. But there's several fey specific metals that you can choose from, and one of the
I'm
more
gonna.
interesting thing that gets your interest, Cayenne, that Nikolai would be excited about, is for certain things they don't use actual metal. They actually use a natural occurring stone that is harder than steel.
That's good.
And it kind of looks like a crimson obsidian.
That's pretty cool.
It is pretty cool.
Go ahead, Cayenne.
I'd be telling him about the stone.
The Cayenne is now oogling over.
That is a pretty stone.
But I'm definitely going to take my time looking at each of the woods that was offered, and I'm going to pick the one that speaks to me the most.
Do it, nature.
I ask as we're being
Do-
shown these items.
Oh, do a nature.
I ask as we're being shown these items if I'm allowed to work with them so I understand their usability for what we need to do.
Not until you accept one.
My nature was a 17, by the way.
All right. You go over each of the woods, Cayenne, feeling them with your fingers and closing your eyes, and just kind of let your nature sense guide you. As you open your eyes and you look at the wood that's in your hand that speaks to you most. And it's a ashy white wood. And the middle, like it's kind of like a sandwich almost. There's the darker gray core of it that would be actually hugging the tree. It's almost like a type of a bark instead of an actual wood. And in between that is kind of like a black line. So it's like the ashy white, and then like the core of it is black, and then the part that's closest to the tree is more gray white.
Interesting.
For Nikolai's personal project he wants to make, he actually is interested in, at this time, looking at materials that would either work as a blend in for Gold's actual skin tone, or at least something that's very complementary to his skin tone.
Okay.
Since he's working on a mask to cover his scars.
One other characteristic cayenne is you might want to make a note of it. As you scrape the wood a little bit, it smells like honeysuckle melon.
Oh boy. Zach, that's
We just
awesome,
lost-
but that could be good or bad for the worm.
Yeah?
Because remember, a certain word that's not allowed to be said around them or mentioned for any reason.
Yeah. Or word
What's going to happen if they scratch it?
They go into a frenzy.
Love
Do an investigation, Nikolai.
Investigation. Ugh, 11.
You find a suitable wood or a suitable metal that you can use for the music box.
Okay. For the actual mechanics part?
Yeah.
Ooh, what is it?
It's actually the iron that Cayenne was holding that she's doesn't know how to take as like perceive.
So to Nikolai's perception, though, he knows it's not actual iron as he knows it. It has the same qualities as iron.
Yeah.
Huh. Cool. Huh.
The base properties are essentially a fade-friendly iron that, but real-world properties, iron that's already been heat-treated to start.
Huh.
I'm going to show Nikolai the wood.
The white wood.
Yes.
Nikolai, you are being shown wood.
Hmm.
Cayenne is showing you her wood.
The white with black line with the gray.
Yeah.
That is quite an interesting. So is the white the bark, or is the gray more like the bark?
It's the gray.
Oh,
Because the black was in the middle.
okay. Wait a minute, okay. So if the black is the middle and it's white on one side and gray on the other side,
The white is the actual outer part.
white is the outer part. Oh, okay. So the gray is the middle.
No, black is the middle.
Black is the middle. Where's the gray come from?
It's the part that's touching the tree.
So it's white, like if we're looking at like a cross section, that you got a white side, a gray side, a black middle, then proceeding to the right, if you're going left to right, a gray side and another white side. Is that right? So like starting on the left, it's
Think
white,
of it as an Oreo.
gray, black,
Nate,
then
Nate,
gray,
Nate,
then
Nate.
white.
I'm going to speak to your fat ass in the way you understand. Think of an Oreo.
Okay.
You have a top cracker that's white. The middle part is black.
Uh-huh.
And the bottom part is a gray color.
Yeah, but how does that trees grow like from the center out? So you're saying one half is white and one half is gray?
Yes. And
So the
there's
tree's
black,
literally half black, half white.
and there's black in the middle of it.
Huh. Weird.
Scratch it.
Trees that are white, half black,
That
or half gray.
Cayenne was literally telling you scratch it. Scratch the wood with your finger.
They scratch the
smell
wood with a
it.
finger and smell it.
Yeah, scratch cayenne's wood and smell it.
Okay, that's getting a little weird. Can we stop? I will play Tom's role here. Let's not go that far, okay? I will scratch the wood and smell it.
Yeah, the smell hits you right away, Nikolai.
Okay. What was the smell described as?
I'd say honeysuckle and melon, but I say the melon would probably be more akin to like honeydew melon.
Okay.
More so than like watermelon.
Whoa. This has got to make a killer smelling fire.
It would probably actually be really relaxing if you put it in like sticks, like how you do Palo Santo, where you burn it like incense.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You hear someone behind you, Cayenne, and they look at you both passing back and forth the wood, and it almost gives you like a sense of Illumion with how burly this elf is. And they're like, that one is yours. You can take it freely. It speaks to you.
Thank you very much. We've never seen wood like this before.
Are these trees nearby so we can observe them?
No.
Okay.
And they walk past you, Cayenne, and pick up a piece of wood, and you realize this is the chief, that he's been out. And he hands you a wood and to examine Cayenne. You can do a nature.
I will take a look. Yes. Wrong thing. Doing Mozilla. That's a 13.
You look at the wood a little bit. You kind of turn it over in your hands, and you smell it, and you would want to take a piece of this back home, but you know this is going to be used for the worm. You kind of scratch it, you smell it, and it's kind of like a greenish kind of hue type of wood, which you're not familiar with. But it smells like cemetery soil when you scratch it.
Osling would love that.
And this would, I would think that you would think this would be a good choice for the worm.
This would be a good choice. What does the wood look like?
It's kind of a little bit veiny, but like a forest green.
Huh.
And the chief, he applies some fire to it on just like the corner of it. It's like a large piece of wood like this. And the veins of this tree instantly, this would illuminate almost to like a silver color and stay that color permanent.
That's really cool.
That's pretty cool.
It's almost like a jade with silver in its cracks.
I like that a lot.
That is really cool.
So, I think you found the materials.
Yeah, definitely did.
Now, we must obtain enough to learn how to work with it.
It's it's holding it, and it's like she's holding it up, and it's like as wide as your shoulder length.
Okay. Okay.
Now we need to figure out what kind of shape we want to do. And figure out how to attack the music box.
Yeah.
The wood itself is about as thick as a pizza box, by the way.
This is a good size, thick piece of wood. So it's like it's about 2 inches or so thick,
Yeah.
about 3 or 4 feet long. How wide?
Skateboard.
About a foot. Okay. All right, that's lots of wood to work with. Well, the best use of material would be geometric shapes. So abstract shapes would be less optimal.
Oh, yes, most music boxes that I see are either oval or they're rectangular.
Yeah. Just saying. Like, I've never worked with this wood. I don't know how much I'm going to need to use to just figure out how to use it.
I'm gonna try to do some guesstimations in my head to see about how much of this would get used for the music box.
It's going to take a little bit of sitting down and druid mathing that. But, they allow you to take that piece of wood with you, so you just put it in your bag, so that you have plenty to work with.
And I would give them thanks for that.
Per chat, imagine how powerful Scav would get from absorbing the power of these trees into him.
When we get him back, we'll have to stab him with the wood.
No, Scav is
Oh,
really a huge
God.
fan of getting impaled by hard wood at high velocity.
A fan or just used to it?
So you guys are able to head out and leave to begin to head back.
You better believe that puppies are getting attention on the way out.
Oh yeah, they are attentioning you as well.
That it is required. They must get the attention on the way back.
And you guys begin. Nikolai's already probably working on plans for the mechanics of this thing.
Yep.
And as you head back, you pause for a moment, Cayenne, along with Nikolai and Ace, as you're back in that divine realm of the moon god.
Huh?
And
What'd we
the moon
do?
God comes over to you and says, "Ah, the other part of the bargain."
We made a bargain.
And
And
you see Atrax is there, and he's like, I'm
Oh.
sorry, my dude. I got dragged into this.
what is going on?
And he turns around and motions to the gods. Go ahead. You're the god of whatever.
What's going on?
And the moon god looks to you, Nikolai, and says, "You consent. You carry a heavy burden. You have to realize what that burden is."
Okay. I have like at least two things that keep me up at night.
I may watch things at night, but I certainly don't partake in watching that. Rude to... Yes, that's what it is.
No, what? What? No, like keep me from sleeping.
Ajax is like, whoa, okay, hold on. Stop the caravan right here. I looked off. I need an adult. And Atrax motions you to come over, Cayenne.
I'll walk on over.
And you have to crouch down because they too are. Their familiar headbutts you as you, their little companion headbutts you as you get closer, demanding attention.
They will get attention.
And as you scritch Betamax, you blink a few times, and you realize you're the same size as Nikolai and Atrax now.
Oh.
Alright. But he just looks at you. You guys, you're the safety line, lady. He's going in the deep end. I hope he can swim. Oh, wait, I forgot. He reaches in his pocket, and he pulls out, like, these two looking candies, and he brushes the dust off of them. He's like, he holds one out to you, Cayenne, to take. I'm a god. Trust me.
Oh my god.
You said this was a candy?
It looks like a candy.
Meow.
Okay, fine. I might regret this, but I'll eat it.
He hands you the other one, Nikolai. Take that. Eat it.
Okay.
Do you just eat it, Nikolai?
Yeah. Like, okay.
You bite down on the candy and you start chewing it up, Cayenne, and it's like the most artificial medicine cherry ever.
Yummy.
And you're just, it's like the worst thing that Cayenne has probably ever eaten in her entire life at this point. Alright. So, listen here, my guy. This is a collaborative effort of us working together to get on a proper page of understanding. It's gonna be heavy. You'll get through it. It'll be okay. Don't fret too much.
Especially since I'm not aware that I have missed something so drastically that it needs 2 gods, 3 gods to intervene. What the hell did I do?
It's not what you did, it's what you need. I think that's a proper kick in the ass.
What? Okay.
Alright. Close your eyes. Both of you.
All right. I close my eyes.
Say, please.
Please?
He's like, he motions for you, Cayenne. I'm waiting.
She would have done it.
Okay. And as you say, please, and you guys suddenly just feel like it's a familiar feeling you hate, Cayenne, and slightly falling. But kind of not really falling. And you're feeling this too, Nikolai. It's an experience you're just like, oh no.
So the feeling you get someplace sometimes when you go in an elevator, just feels like it's dropping, but didn't.
And Atrax is like, all right, open your eyes.
All right.
And your stomach kind of sinks, Cayenne, because you're like, oh, okay. And you stand in this strange place. And Atrax is like, my dude, this is the kind of guy that's like classic villain status that you're dealing with. And you see that place that you've been dreaming about visiting destroyed and leveled, pieces of it floating in low gravity, and you see the various bodies just floating in zero gravity lifeless.
Hmm?
Hundreds of moon mice dead, floating in space.
Whoa.
Low gravity of the moon where they lived. Not a single life to be found.
Whoa. Wait, where are we?
That place you always wanted to visit. The moon.
So moon mice are from the moon?
That's complicated. Now I'm not getting into those weird social, economic politics of. But yeah,
Okay.
they're all dead.
They're all dead?
Well, here, yes, but there's like enough down there, and you look over Cayenne working motions, and you can see the planet where you're from, the material realm, and you realize where you're at.
What? Oh, wait. So we're in the space between the moon and home?
Reaches down and picks up some of the space dust and puts it in your hand. You are on the moon.
So we're on a moon. Whoa.
Cayenne is not happy.
So we can breathe here, or is that you're doing?
Oh, that's my dude.
Okay. So that's important to know. Why is everybody floating? What is going on?
You're like evil clone daddy, like came here and like that was a famous barbarian that I traveled with. Hasta la vista them.
Like all of them?
All the ones here.
Huh.
Yeah, this is not a place, a city of life anymore, Cayenne. This is a graveyard. This is an extinction level of a thing that you witnessed of what Mustachio did.
Huh. Okay. So Nikolai has a thing that his understanding is that it is from the moon. It's like a tablet of some sort. He'll bring out that tablet and see if there's anything that happens with it.
You hear a strange noise as it leaps on.
Whoa.
And it glows softly, and you see a bunch of things just zoom past on a screen that you can't comprehend.
So like, it's like literally a tablet.
Yeah.
What is this?
And then you just see it turn off, and you hear what is basically like an old school printer going on.
Can we go to the noise?
Yeah, you follow the noise, kind of pushing a body aside, and it floats past you, frozen and dead.
Okay.
And you get to the console, and you see it print something out.
Like literally like a printer.
Yeah, like from the 1980s
Oh, okay.
kind of printer,
Uh-huh.
and you're able to. But it's moon mouse size, so I guess it's a receipt paper in
Yeah.
this case.
So it's perfectly like a size piece of paper for Nikolai.
Yeah.
So does it match some of the writing on that other that little that thing that has moon mice writing on it?
It is in moon mouse.
Well, but what? I gotta learn how to do some of the things that Mongo can do. Yeah, it's like, what is this?
But yeah, you get that feeling that he basically tried to wipe out all moon mice. He likely thinks he succeeded.
Yeah, it's like,
And
how long do we have here, Atrax?
well, not very long. Like, I brought you here so you could do like the purpose thing, and then we head back.
I was just hoping I could see what they lived in, so I could have a connection, explore the place a little bit. Maybe you're wrong. Maybe there's someone still alive here.
Cayenne, you can do tap into your godly abilities. See if you sense any life outside of the three of you.
I'll do that. Using deity logic, that's an 8.
You kind of close.
Yeah.
You close your eyes and you focus for a bit, and you kind of force yourself to reach out, still exhausted from earlier. The only life you sense is the three of you.
I'm still too exhausted from earlier. I only sense us.
Just kind of look around a little bit, Nikolai, and that space that you're in, you can see that the entire whole of it is blown out and just floating in a trail, slowly drifting off away from the moon itself as the moon continues its path.
Is this thing that literally printed out this piece of paper, is it literally like a printer?
It kind of looks like a thin line in the wall, and the paper came out of it, and
Okay, so it's not a thing sitting on something.
yeah.
Okay. Not like it's something I can take. Was this the machine that my mother spoke about? Huh. Well, I guess we'll have to come back some other day, if we have to leave.
And as you say that, you're standing back in the field, and Cayenne, you're standing in the field as well, back to your normal size. You just see Nikolai kind of probably having slumping shoulders, holding that piece of paper.
Yeah, definitely distraught about that.
None of the other gods are there, and it's just you two. And Ace looks over and he's like,
Atrax took me home. Wait up to the sky.
Ace looks over at you, Kanyan, and signs a little bit like, the fuck did you give him?
He would communicate back nothing. He's speaking the truth.
Ace just kind of looks between you both like, okay, I was stuck here.
I plan to go back, Ace. I don't know how, but it's going to happen.
Huh. I have a spider now.
Maybe it crawled over there
Where did
through
it
the
go?
chimney. See? You're the only one like, where the hell did it go?
Well, no, mine was small. And it was dark, so I don't know what kind it was. So, we'll find out later if I get bit.
Not the giant ass spider that we get.
What's another? What's another bite?
So, yeah, you realize that's what the moon god was telling you to take care of his Nikolai now that he's been shown the aftermath of Mustachio's doing.
Why would he kill everybody?
I would know that. Is it along the same lines as the queen?
The queen also, just to be sure that nobody can stop him.
Insanity doesn't necessarily have a rhyme or reason, and he could have also been wanting to make sure no one would try to stop him. There's no reasoning with him. As much as you want to try to think there is none. There's only one option for him. Complete and utter eradication. You can try to save what remnants might be left of your actual father.
Yeah, that's the only problem I
That's-
have with his eradication is like, is that going to destroy what's left of my father as well?
That's gonna have to be a risk that you're going to have to take.
But is it something that has to be
Because
done?
you have to think,
Yeah, I get it.
unfortunately, there is not much else that we can do, Nikolai. I can only do so much, and this is not my domain at all.
Yeah.
He is on a complete other level of I'm a complete fucked individual that is all manner of everyone's an enemy. I can't trust anyone, so fuck you. Your soul is mine to toy with as I please. Just like the queen.
Yeah.
And you already know what we have to do for her. There's literally, unfortunately, no saving her. I'm pretty sure Alice has tried. I'm pretty sure there has been more than one occasion where she has tried to speak sense into her, and it has not worked.
A god of madness trying to speak sense to someone of insanity. I don't even know how that's possible.
Oh, it's possible. It's not clean, but it's possible. It's not not a clean fucking process. It's just like me talking to Osling over
Yeah.
something that's life related when she's in a completely different domain from me. It's a messy process, but we come to an understanding on some things.
Yeah, yeah.
I suppose so.
Maybe you can try to talk to Alice to see if she can give you pointers into trying to understand how to smartly deal with someone who's insane. That was that was literal advice too. Is talking to Alice, because with this being him being insane, who better to talk to about that than the literal goddess of insanity and madness?
Do an investigation as you guys are heading back home. You can
I
do
think
it
I'm
too, Nicole.
still too tired with an 8.
Yeah, aren't you like on disadvantage with everything?
I don't think
I've
you're
got
rolling
exhaustion
lower.
level 3.
Yeah, you would be rolling with disadvantage.
That would be a big 14 for moi.
As you guys are heading back, you pause for a moment, Nikolai, keeping that piece of paper close,
Yeah.
and you look up and you see this pole sticking out of a rock. It's kind of a golden spear almost, and you see the banner waving from it of the Red Queen, and there's a decree that's pinned to it.
Okay. I pointed out. The hell is this?
Do you examine it, Cayenne?
Yes, and not gently.
You rip the parchment off of there and you look at it. And it says, by decree of the Red Queen, this rock belongs to her. And you're realizing how insane she actually is.
I'm going to scream out, and I don't care who hears. By decree of my fat ass, this rock is free. Suck it, you fat whore.
Do an investigation, Cayenne.
No, that's literally Cayenne. She would be yelling, suck it,
Oh,
you
I'm
fat
sure
whore.
she would be. Someone decreed this rock is mine.
Did you say with disadvantage?
I just said roll investigation because Nikolai is probably helping you as you scream this out. It kind of jars you to life a little bit, Nikolai.
Nikolai would be laughing at the decree for
It
sure,
was
yeah.
a modified 20,
Okay.
by the way.
You look at the parchment, you get ready to tear it up, and you look at the second page, and it's a portrait of the Red Queen. That she's so egotistical that they included a portrait so you knew exactly who gave this decree. And you see Cayenne, I would assume, go still as you look at this portrait, Cayenne. And it kind of unsettles you a little bit as it looks exactly like Alice.
Huh.
Hmm.
And you can do a DD logic on that too.
I am, because I'm kind of remembering us being told not to trust her.
Yeah.
Deity logic's 10.
You look at this for a moment, and Nikolai, do you go see what she's stone cold staring at?
Yeah.
Nikolai, do an intelligence roll.
What has gotten you so screwed, so upset here, sister? Other than the craziness of this queen. It'll be a 21.
Cayenne starts to mention I would assume that you mentioned the trust thing.
I would have showed him the parchment.
Yeah.
I'm not just gonna keep it to myself.
Nate, I'm sending you a message.
Okay. Presumably from the last resource that you sent me. Do-do-do. Yeah. I think Alice's memories are indeed messed with. If this is actually a true image of the Queen, then the Queen that Alice remembers in that image we saw is not her. The Queen is her sister. Look at it. This looks exactly like her. You and your sister look almost identical before you changed your forms.
They still look fairly.
I mean, we still are technically identical twins, just with minor like color palette and horn changes.
Yeah, but when you were your normal corporeal material selves, you were barely different.
Yeah, again, identical twins from the same womb, cut
Yeah.
from the same mother, from literally her breast down to her udders.
I guess Centaur would have both breast and udders.
Well, you have to think of horse anatomy.
Mhm.
Remember how with saddles there's breast collars which go with the breast muscle, and then you have a female centaur who has an upper torso of a human which has breasts,
Yes.
and then there are udders.
Yeah.
So technically 2 sets, because the other breasts I mentioned are muscle. It's not like actual mammary glands. Anatomy!
Yeah.
Confusing as fuck. Because the centaur has 2 spines.
But yeah, this seems to fill in some blanks as to why Alice hasn't been able to kill the Red Queen. And
so maybe we're gonna have to be the one to do that.
Yeah.
Alice can't.
Yeah.
Either because there's some kind of
Well,
magic at play, or she just cannot bring herself to do so.
yeah, I get that, but like, who are any of us, even yourself, to make a decision that we must eliminate a god?
There are many things that you don't know, Nikolai. Like something that I have to do that I promised. Oh God.
What? You know, despite the fact that you're a god, you don't have to, especially since you are a god, you don't have to keep everything to yourself. You have 3 brothers.
There are some names that we can't say.
Okay, then don't say the names. You know, maybe...
I can't even give you an inkling as to who he is.
I know who you're talking about now.
Okay. Yeah, there's a promise I made a while ago
Yeah.
that I'm sure you remember me telling you about. There's a part of it I didn't tell you about that I'm kind of fucking dreading that I literally
what-
cannot breathe a word of.
What I'm getting at is that you don't have to shoulder all the burden. Perhaps there's something that you're not thinking
This-
about
I,
that, one of us could help you. That's all I'm saying. Do your God things, whatever.
This, what I'm speaking of, a mortal, Nikolai,
Yes.
what I'm speaking of,
Yes.
no mortal can help me with this burden, is what I'm saying. This has to be like,
yeah,
nope.
Yeah, I get that.
You can't even go to the place to where I have to do it at.
Not even
None
mentioning
of
that.
you can.
Not even mentioning that. Not even mentioning that. All I'm saying
You
is
don't even know
whatever
what
it is.
you don't even know what that is.
Yes. Yeah. Whatever. Mortals can't go to God places. Whatever. That's fine. I don't care. That's not what I'm getting at. All I'm saying is it's a thing that you're dealing with, but you're dealing with it amongst yourself. You've got 3 brothers that will literally die for you. So, with that in mind, you can lean on us for help. Help doesn't have to be physically doing the thing. It's just releasing the information so that it's not just your burden, so that, a comment, a thought can be shared to help you maybe dealing with it. That's all I'm saying.
Mouse, when I say I literally cannot tell you about it, as who I am, I can't even ask you for counsel, to ask any of you for advice, because it is to that utmost secrecy, is what I'm saying, and what I've been trying to say. Meaning, there is not a single thing that you can do to undo
Spiritually,
this burden you're talking about.
spiritually, I hear Mongo going, "You guys just make this shit up all the time, don't you?" About gods.
Yeah. And then I just hear Scav in the background. He's like, "No, you can tell us." No, the fuck I can't. Especially not you. Especially not you, stupid lizard. You stupid overgrown shiny belt.
God damn.
Wow.
So,
Tell us
When
how
he
you
does
really feel.
something stupid that gets demoted that far, I'm sorry, but when he does something so egregiously stupid, he gets demoted that far. Not even boots, a belt, which has
So-
only literally one use,
Keep your
maybe
britches
2. Keep your britches up might be a weapon to smack somebody with. That's it. To bind or slap.
So, with the newfound information, you eventually get back to camp, realizing the weird dynamic nature between Alice and the Red Queen as to why they can't kill each other. And as you get back to camp, you see Hatter stitching something back together, and it's the little plushy knight. As he was apparently torn asunder.
What happened to the hair? Right? That's the hair, right?
Yes. And Hatter looks over and says, "Oh, you're back.
Yes.
Well, that's good. That's rightly good. Stop moving, or I'm gonna end up misplacing your eye again." I have egregious news.
Okay.
And motions over to the table, and you see Mongo's book there, his spell book.
Okay.
Hare here and your feline brother went out into the wilds to gather some ingredients.
Uh-huh.
Well, stop. He just kind of struggles. Stop moving. It appears that your brother was kidnapped.
What?
Catnapped? Ah.
Here, what happened?
Hare just starts gesturing random directions about things.
Seem so disassembled that he can't speak.
Yeah.
Shit.
I'm assuming that Hare
Mm.
tried to defend Mongo, and Mongo was catnapped by some. What's that? Faye.
So,
No, not that one. Not that one. A different one.
okay, well let's get Hair back together so we can get more of the story first.
Cayenne just now has the most massive headache, the fact that Mongo was kidnapped.
How screwed up is Hair?
Really?
Well, right now he's being stitched back together. A lot of his stuffing is being pushed back in, and he is literally just shredded. Kind of like if you ran over a plushie with a lawnmower.
Shit. Well, yeah, I will look over. Like, do you think? Okay, is it reasonable to think that maybe I could just fix them all up using the magical tinkering
No.
gift?
No, you don't know how that would play with Alice's magic.
Okay. All right. Well, I will assist Hatter in reassembling Hair so that we can get more clear information.
Yep.
So,
And
what exactly did these Fae look like so I know whether to be lethal or not?
The hair scrapes into the floor table. It's already marred beyond normalcy, but Hatter still gets a little frustrated. Just the number 1.
So one did this. A singular being did this.
And that's the news of your brother being kidnapped. That's ruined, and I can read your face like a book. Diane's got such a headache now. And her anger is bubbling over.
Yeah, Cayenne is ready to go on a hunt for fucking blood at this point because she needs to replenish our supply anyway.
Alright. That will be it for tonight. What's your highlights, Cayenne?
Being able to actually work with another god was great. I love the description that you gave of them. You'll definitely have to send me their name, how it's
Yeah.
spelled, because I know it started with a G-A. I think you said Gillifane or Gallifane?
It's Galair.
I think is what you said.
I
Okay.
heard. What did I hear? I wrote it down. What I heard. Down at the bottom.
Galair.
Yeah, Gallier or something like that.
But I did love the children of the god, and definitely think that Garnick is going to enjoy spending time with them too. Because what better place than with a deity who just views nature as children?
Yeah.
And I know for a fact that we'll be in contact, so it's not like we won't see Garnet again. But they need a break other than a pocket.
They're such a
Sorry, buddy.
They're such a free god.
Mm-hmm. another highlight was just being able to work together with Nikolai to get like components that we need, just talk about ideas,
Yeah.
getting more important information revealed for him at the at the expense of emotion. More than one. Seeing seeing basically the moon itself, even though for Cayenne that's a no. I belong on
Yeah.
our planet
Need
where
to add
we
that to my
live,
inventory.
nowhere the fuck else. Just seeing the tribe that we met as well. The fact Alice used that terrible, terrible term when talking about elves, though.
She didn't know any better.
Oh yeah, well, she also is not used to many of the beings who live in this time period,
Yeah.
so that's understandable. But she'll learn.
Yep. Basically, the
Still gotta
people she
take her to.
deals with is just her own little group of insanity or madness.
Mm-hmm. Still gotta take her to the city of the gods to get that dealt with.
That's gonna be fun.
That is going to be a very confusing, fun time. All of the questions, and then just I can only imagine where that's gonna lead. Having to reiterate to Nikolai that I literally cannot tell you about this one thing. There's only this one thing I cannot breathe a word about that none of you, no one else can help me with. Even with advice, no one else can help me with this. That was fun.
That is a conversation that Nikolai will bring up again.
Oh yeah, I'm already expecting it. Not gonna lie. A lot of good moments.
What about you, Nikolai?
Despite the horrendous nature of the situation, it was pretty freaking awesome to get to the Moon Mouse home. Got a whole nother puzzle to work out as to like what the hell that thing printed up. It's, I mean, the whole thing was just literally just gave Nikolai assurances that this evil clone stepdaddy has to be destroyed, but like at what expense, kind of thing, you know, like the difficulty is the pragmatism the character definitely understands, but the actual thinking, living, breathing, feeling being that Nikolai is, there's the conflict there because that's all that's left of his father, and like, you know, how much of the destruction of his father is necessary, you know. So that's horrible. It really didn't help anything, just made it worse. Spending time with Cayenne to just adventure things, experience a new culture, that was really cool. The helping Cayenne figure out how to use her abilities as a god was pretty cool too.
Mm-hmm.
See, Nikolai can help the gods.
At the expense of, good lord, a lot of her blood.
That was pretty cool.
Painted a pretty spiderweb picture, though.
Yeah. So yeah, that was pretty fun. And then coming back to find out that Mongo's been kidnapped. So yeah, that's going to be fun.
Hey guys, how was the Feywild? Oh, we let Mongo get kidnapped.
we
You
so
know, bumped into some new gods.
like 2 of them now. 3 of them actually, yeah. How about you?
You guys getting to spend a session together and just, bounce off each other and work together. That's the biggest thing about this session. It's something I know you both have approached me about of like, hey, I want to do this, this, and this.
How do we get the mechanic and the gardener to work together?
And then you actually getting a chance to play together and work together without any outside interference. So it was nice having a Nikolai Cayenne section where you guys could just play together and go on your own like crazy adventure. And yeah, it was a pretty crazy adventure you guys went on. Everybody went through some emotions tonight.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Just opening up quite a few things to you guys to experiment with and play with. It was also nice. Got to meet some new gods, learn about some new things, hate some people some more,
Yep.
get Mungo kidnapped.
Not our fault.
Come on, it was very much a Mungo thing that would happen.
Absolutely.
By the way, you did get a bottle of that wine from the
Yeah, gotta put that down.
Druids.
Truth serum wine.
That is in Cayenne's bag.
Okay. Fine.
You can make a note of it, Nikolai.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, just put in Cayenne's bag. Yeah, that's it. Lots of good stuff tonight. Fun stuff. All right, say goodnight.
Say goodnight. Good night, everybody. Thank you for joining
Good
us.
night, everybody.